Join first. Join immediately, ma.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning. What happened, your friends?
I think they are busy, madam.
Why? All of you busy?
They'll come lately.
Okay. Okay, I will start the class.
Okay, ma'am.
Good morning, all of you. Today we discuss methods of voltage control. Fourth method. We have 8 methods, no? In that fourth method is shunt reactors. The shunt reactors are basically inductive elements. We can using these inductive elements either sending end or receiving end in UHV or EHV transmission lines, extra high voltage or ultra high voltage transmission lines. Okay. Whenever the load is lightly loaded or not loaded, in that case we are using the reactance at uh, receiving end side or sending end side. In that time, either no load condition, the receiving end voltage is greater than the sending end voltage. So that effect is called as a Ferranti effect. We can call it as, that effect is called as Ferranti effect. We can reducing the voltage, we can use the shunt reactors here. Can controlling the voltage. Okay. Next one is shunt capacitors. Shunt capacitors are also used in receiving and substations or industrial loads. Most of the industrials draws high current, inductive current. So we power factor will be lagging. That is up to 0.3 to 0.6 lagging in industrials. So we can reduce that IXL drop. We are using the capacitance in parallel parallel to the load. So we can reduce the voltage drop here, IXL drop, then we can control the voltage in the industrial or substations in receiving end side. Next one is synchronous condensers. The synchronous condensers are basically over-excited synchronous motors running at no load condition. Okay, the synchronous condenser is also called as a synchronous phase modifier. It will be used in load end side. We can observe the reactive power and we can improve the voltage profile by using the synchronous condensers. Next one is static VAR compensator. Static VAR compensator. The static VAR compensators are also used in receiving end substations or distribution systems. Why? Because we are using the static VAR systems, we get the smooth and stabilized variations in the reactive power. So we can, by using this static VAR also, we are reducing the voltage or increasing the voltage. We can controlling voltage with a constant profile. Okay. In this static VAR compensator, we are using the shunt capacitors and shunt reactors. Here, this is the static VAR compensator circuit diagram. Here we are connected one anti-parallel thyristor, inductor and fixed capacitor. By using this anti-parallel thyristor switch, we can controlling the voltage. Okay. In this static VAR systems, the voltage and any voltage and frequency variations will be getting in a other side disturbances, any disturbances will occur in a voltage and frequency, we can overcome that disturbances by using the static VAR compensator. The reactor here controlled by using the anti-parallel thyristor switch. Here we are connected one anti-parallel thyristor. No? From that we can control the reactor control. The firing angle here, the thyristor governs the voltage across the inductor. Okay. In this we can reduce the reactor current and power. Then we can controlling here reactive power and current by using this anti-parallel thyristor switch. Then we can control the voltage. This is the phasor diagram of static VAR compensator. Here QC is the reactive power changing the capacitor and Q1 will be the reactive power observed by the inductor. Here Q is equal to net reactive power is equal to, in the static VAR system, Q is equal to QC minus Q1. Sorry, not Q1, QL. Here by varying QL and QC can be controlling the SVR system. Here for light load condition, QL is greater than QC. Heavy load conditions, the QC is greater than the QL. Okay. For light load condition, QL is greater than QC, and for heavy load conditions, QC is greater than QL. Is the condition for the light load and heavy load condition in static VAR compensators. Advantages of static VAR compensator, that is, bus voltage can be controlled, improve the system stability and voltage stability, reduce the power oscillations and minimize the transmission loss. These are the advantages of static VAR compensator. We have number of types are there in static VAR compensator, that is, first one is saturated reactor. Yes sir. Thyristor controlled reactor, TCR. Second one is thyristor controlled reactor, TCR. Third one is thyristor switched capacitor, TSC. Fourth one is thyristor switched reactor, TSR. Fifth one is thyristor control transformer, that is TCT. Next, sixth one is fixed capacitor and thyristor control reactor, FCTCR. Next one is thyristor switch capacitor, TSC, and thyristor control reactor, TCR. Last one is self or line commutated converter, that is SCC or LCC. These are the number of types in the we are using the types of SVC. Okay, we will discuss in this types of SVC in facts subject. Here no need to discuss this all the types. Okay, in facts subject we will in detail we discuss this all the topics. Next one is boost transformer. Last one in methods of voltage control is boost transformers. Okay, in this boost transformers regulating the transformer voltage by using the tap changing. In this we can control, by using this boost transformer we can control the small adjustment of voltage. Any small adjustment is there, no? In that cases we are using the boost transformers. In these boost transformers also we have two types, that is one is three phase auto transformer. It is also called as exciting transformer. Second one is series transformer. These are the two types of boost transformers. This boost transformers compensating the device which pays the boost similar to changing transformers. Okay, here boost transformer circuit diagram is this one. This is the boost transformer circuit diagram. This is A, this B. Whenever to increase the voltage, we can get the first close the relay B, then opening the A here. This is the booster transformer here. This is the line. These are two these two are relays. Okay. First close the relay B and opening the A. Otherwise we can open the close the A and open the relay B. Then we can increase the voltage in a boost transformers. It is used in distribution feeders where the cost of tap changing transformers is not warranted. By changing this turns ratio, transformer of the voltage ratio and secondary voltage is changed. It will be used in transmission and distribution systems. We can controlling the voltage up to plus or minus 16%. By using this boosting transformers, we can control the voltage plus or minus 16% range. It is clear? These are the 8 methods of voltage control. Next one is one problem from this voltage control methods. First one is the load at receiving end of a 3-phase overhead transmission line is 25 megawatts 0.8 power factor lags. At the line voltage of 33 kV, a synchronous compensator is situated at receiving end. Voltage at both the ends of lines is maintained at 33 kV. Calculate the MVR compensator. The line has resistance reactance of 5 ohms for person for phase, 20 ohms for phase. Here he is giving the V1 33 kV and in resistance and inductance is resistance and reactance is given 5 J20. J is equal to Z is equal to R plus Jx. No? Here R is equal to 5 and X is equal to 20 and V2 is 33 kV. The power is here 25 megawatts and power factor 0.8, power factor lagging. He is asking the calculate the MVR at the compensator. So we can calculate the reactive power. First we can take the phase voltage, that is at receiving end side. So V2, I am taking V2 for phase. V2 for phase means 33 by root 3 and V1 for phase, that is 33 by root 3. We will get 19.05 kV, V1 phase and V2 phase. Next I am taking power also in phase, that is P phase is equal to 25 by 3 into 10 power 6. So we will get 8.33 megawatts. P phase is equal to 8.333 megawatts. Here R is equal to 5 ohms for phase, power factor 0.8 and X is equal to 20 ohm for phase. We know the Q2. Q2 is equal to P2 tan phi 2. Right, the reactive power is equal to P into tan phi. So from this we are supposed to calculate the phi 2 value. We are given the cos phi 2 as a 0.8 here. So from this the phi 2 value will be 36.86. So we can substitute here in place of phi 2 and P2 already we find 8.33 megawatts. So substitute here, then we will get Q2, that is 6.25 MVR. So the Q2 value will be nothing, but he is asking compensating the receiving end voltage also. So we can calculate the sending end voltage. Calculate the V1 also. So V1 is equal to, we know the formula this one, V1 square is equal to V2 plus delta V whole square plus delta V whole square. This formula already we know, synchronous condenser from the. So we can substitute first in place of P2, in place of P, P2 and in place of Q, Q2 minus QC. Okay. In this equation we can substitute in place of P, P2 and in place of Q, Q2 minus QC. Okay. After substituting this one, V1 square is equal to V2 plus P2R plus Q2 minus QC into X by V2 whole square plus in place of P, here also I am taking P2, P2x minus Q2 minus QC into R by V2 whole square. Then after we can simplify this one. Here I am taking cross multiplication, this V2 square, here V1 square plus V1 square into V2 square. Then after I am taking this as a separate, A plus B whole square. This A, this is a B, A plus B whole square. So I am V2 power 4 plus 2V2 square 2AB. So, 2 into V2 square into P2R plus Q2 minus QC into X plus B square, that is P2R plus Q2 minus QC into X whole square. Okay. Then after I am writing same as it is this one, P2X minus Q2 minus QC R square. Then after I am doing the A plus B whole square for this also. Okay. V2 power 4, I am taking V1 is equal to V2. So, V2 power 4 is equal to V2 power 4 plus 2 V2 square P2R plus Q2 minus QC into X, as it is I wrote this one A plus B whole square. Again we can do A plus B whole square for this. What will get? P2 square R square plus Q2 minus QC into X whole square plus 2 P2R into Q2 minus QC into X, right. Same way we can do this one also, A minus B whole square. So, P2 square X square plus Q2 minus QC into R whole square minus 2P2X Q2 minus QC into R. So, these both are cancelled here. I am taking this V2 power 4 from this side, then we will get 0. So, then after I am taking P2 square as common. So, we will get R square plus X square. P2 square as common in this both, then we will get R square plus X square. Same way I am taking Q2 minus QC whole square as a common, then we will get R square plus X square plus 2V2 square P2R Q2 minus QC into X, as it is I am writing this one, this V2 power 4 from this side. So, it will get 0. In this both I am taking again common the R square plus X square. So, what we will get? P2 square plus this one we can do the A minus B one second plus Q2 square minus 2 Q2 QC plus Q2 QC square, okay, plus 2 V2 square P2R plus Q2 minus QC into X, as it is I am writing this one, equal to V2 power 4 V2 power 4. So, 0. In this equation I am substituting the all the values. R value we know, X value we know, P Q2 also we know, QC we don't know the value, V2 square also we know, P2R also know, Q2 know, X also know, QC and QC value we don't know. So, we can calculate the QC value here, right. So, substitute the all the values, then we will get like this. One equation will be getting QC square 425 QC square minus 198 1,19,828.6 QC plus 1,67,046.648 is equal to 0. We will get this equation. From this equation we can calculate the QC value by using this formula. QC is equal to minus B plus R minus B square minus 4AC by 2A. By using this formula we can calculate the QC value. We can substitute all those values, then we will get the QC value. The QC value is 35.62 or 11.03. So, 3 phase total reactive power is 3 phase in 3 phase, so 3 into this reactive power 11.03, any of the reactive power you can take. I am taking 11.03, so 33.09 MVAR. In this circuit, the total reactive power is 3 into 11.03, that is 33.09 MVAR. Okay, it is clear this problem. Is clear all of you? Okay, next type of model is a 415 kV line is fed through 132 by 415 kV transformer from a constant 132 kV supply. The load end of the transformer of 415 by 132 kV. The total impedance of line is 20 plus J40 ohms. Both transformers, one equipped with tap changing. The product of the two of nominal setting is unity. The load of the system 250 megawatts at 0.75 power factor lagging. Calculate the setting of the tap changer required to maintain the voltage at 132 kV. In this we can calculate the tap changer. So we know the tap changing formula T1 and T2. T1 is equal to 1 by T2, right? First we can take the all the data. Here R is equal to 20 ohms and J is equal to 40, X is equal to 40 ohms, the reactance. Then P2, here P2 is given 250 megawatts. So in phase 250 by 3, so 83.33 megawatts. Next one is we can calculate the Q2 value from this. Power factor he is given cos phi is equal to 0.75. From this we can calculate the cos inverse of 0.75. Here we can calculate the phi value and substitute the here tan phi value, that is 0.75. So from this Q2 value is 62.5 MVAR. Can take V1 and V2 values also. 415 by root 3 we can take in phase values. So V1 phase is equal to 415 by root 3. This is the V1, V2 is a 132. V2 also we can find in phase. V2 is equal to 132 by root 3. So we can find the 76.21. So from this T1 is equal to under root of V2 square by V1 V2. Who is that? One second, ma, I will take the attendance. Then after we can. Okay. T1 is equal to, we know the formula, that is V2 under root of V2 square by V1 V2 minus P2R minus Q2X. Okay, we can substitute the all the values. We know the all the values, so substitute here. Then we will get the T1 value, that is 0.641. Okay ma. T2 is equal to 1 by T1. So substitute in place of T1, we can get 0.641. 1 by 0.641, that is 1.557. The T2 value is 1.557. These two are the turns ratio T1 and T2. Okay, this is the another model problem. It is clear all of you? It is clear all of you? Next problem, that is last problem in this unit. A 132 kV line is fed through an 11 by 132 kV transformer from a constant 11 kV supply. At the load end of the line, the voltage is reduced by another transformer of nominal ratio 132 by 11 kV. Total impedance of the line and transformer at 132 kV is 25 plus J66 ohms. Both transformers are equipped with tap changing facilities which are arranged so that the product of the two of nominal settings is unity. If load on the system is 100 megawatts at 0.9 power factor lagging, calculate the settings of the tap changer required to maintain the voltage at the load bus bar at 11 kV. The base MVA of 100 MVA. Here also we can find the same, that is tap changing T1 and T2. We can calculate the T1 and T2 here also. Here first we can calculate the ZPU. He is given in per unit. So we can calculate the ZPU, that is kVA square by MVA. Here kVA 11 kV. Here kV square by MVA. ZPU is equal to kV square by MVA. Here kV is the 11 square by 100 MVA. MVA is given 100. Yeah, here the base MVA is given 100 MVA here, and kV is given 11 kV. So substitute here 11 square by 100. Then we will get Z per unit. Then after we can calculate the R and resistance and reactance also in per unit. So how to calculate the resistance per unit means R per unit is equal to R by ZPU. X per unit is equal to X by ZPU. So substitute the values. Here R is equal to 25 and X is equal to 66. Already we find the Z per unit. So substitute here, then we will get the R per unit and X per unit. Okay. These are the R per unit is 20.66 and X per unit is 59.545. This per unit, so no units for this resistance and reactance. Okay. V1 is equal to V1 in phase and V2 in phase. So 11 and 132. Here 11 volts V1 and V2 is a 132 kV. So V1 we can take in phase, that is 11 by root 3, V2 as 132 by root 3. We can take V1 as 6.35 volts and V2 as a 76.21 volts. Okay, P2 also we can take for phase, that is 100 by 3, 33.33 megawatts. Okay, cos phi also is given power factor, he is 0.9 power factor, so we can calculate that is in tan phi. First calculate the phi value, then we can substitute in tan phi, then we will get tan phi value. We can substitute here in place of tan phi. Q, Q, Q2 is equal to P2 into tan phi. So substitute here, then we will get the Q2 value. So we can calculate the all the values. So we can substitute in this T1 equation. T1 is equal to under root of V2 square by V1 V2 minus P2 R minus Q2x. We can substitute the all the values. We will get the T1 value. That is T1 is equal to 2.23. Right. From this we can calculate the T2 also. T2 is equal to 1 by T1, that is 1 by 2.23. That is T2 value is finally 0.448. Okay, it is clear all of you? All of you clear second unit? In this second unit, modeling of AVR and methods of voltage control, on-load tap changing transformer turns ratio. These three questions are important and problems are the two models. In these two models, any one problem comes from this unit. Okay. Any doubts in this unit? Anyone having any doubts? Anyone having any doubts, ma'am, in this unit? Next class we discuss the third unit, economic load dispatch. Any doubts, ask me, either first unit or second unit. No doubts?